I've gone from essentially juggling everything to now being able to fully concentrate on one thing. And that one thing is growing the business. And that's one of the benefits of systemizing the business. And the other thing that it provides me is continuous and predictable cash flow. I'm just going to show you the numeric profits of this as well. So you can see here from January to May 2023. So the turnover for the company here was £79,000, and that's when it was just solely myself. So January to May this year, you can see here an increase of £190,000, which is a 140% increase, and a predicted turnover this year of £510,000. So when the new surveyor's on, like I say, that's me fully out of the business, and the business is there producing £510,000. First, I just want to say a huge thank you to Volta, Maria, and the team for asking me to talk today. You always get so much energy from these days, and it's always, it's really inspirational. So to ask me to talk about what I've been doing over the last 12 months is it's a real honour, so thank you ever so much. Those that don't know me, my name is Kieran Foggett. I am a RICS building surveyor. I am a property investor, and I'm an entrepreneur. I'm based in Oxfordshire, and myself and my long-term partner, Michaela, are proud parents of our 3.5-year-old son, Franklin. And we are excited as we have our second child on the way, which we... I'll be tired, I'll be very tired, due in July. So those that are on Aura, my Aura will be coming off for the first few weeks. I'm a very sporty individual. I'm also very competitive, probably too competitive. Growing up, I played lots of sport. I played cricket, football, rugby. I also swam competitively. But post-lockdown, I've got a lot more into running, and I've competed in a handful of half marathons. And since I've signed up for my first full marathon in April next year. So very much looking forward to the challenge. I still play cricket for my local cricket team, but the less I say about that, I think the better. So a little bit about my career and my background. So I worked for 4 years for a building company. This is where I learned a lot about my building pathology and my construction knowledge. I gained a lot of knowledge there. I then worked for 7 years as an energy assessor. So I worked doing EPCs, floor plans, and marketing photos for companies. Within the last 3 years of working in this job, I studied my degree in building surveying. And in 2019, I qualified as a RICS building surveyor. And that's when I set up my company called Complete Inspection Surveyors. My why? Why invest in properties and why be here? So for me, I've always wanted to invest using property as a sort of passive income. This would allow me to get my time back and to spend more time doing things that I want to be doing, such as spending time with my family. When I met Volta, or before I met Volta, I thought that I would say invest in one property every, say, 5 to 10 years. And then when I got to a certain age, I could then retire. And that would be me done from there. But having spoken with Volta, he mentioned that by having a few systems in place, that I would be able to speed up this process. And for me, that was very appealing. So that's why I came on board with the UI. So a little bit about the company that I currently run. So Complete Inspection Surveyors are a small practice of surveyors. We complete RICS surveys and RICS valuation for private clients. There was 2 pointed differences I wanted to be when I set the company up. So firstly, I know actually there's a lot of property investors in here, so I've got a question for those that do. Those that have bought a property in the last sort of 12 months or so, when you purchased the property, did you have a RICS survey or a RICS? Yeah, fantastic. And when you got the report, were you really happy, really clear, really concise, and understand everything that the surveyor meant within the report? Okay, perfect. Almost. Having researched before setting the company up, a lot of the sort of feedback was that people didn't quite fully understand the report. They didn't understand exactly what the surveyor was saying. So for me, I wanted to have really clear, really concise reporting, and I wanted it to be very user-friendly. I didn't want any clients not to understand anything at all within the survey. The second point of difference I wanted to make was I wanted to have excellent customer service. When you purchase a property, it's normally one of the biggest assets that you're going to purchase. unless you buy businesses, obviously. And it's this very stressful time for most. So I wanted to almost hold the client's hand through this process and be there with them for any questions the whole way through. So when I set the company up, that was how I very much felt. I was a one-man band, and essentially I was juggling absolutely everything. So I was surveying, I was the marketing manager, I was the sales manager, I was making the teas, I was doing the administration, absolutely everything within the business to keep it going. However, the revenue for the business could only come from when I was going out actually doing the surveys. So it very quickly became apparent that I hit a capacity, and at that point I realised that without having any systems, I would need to keep going forward. And it was actually at the event last year. So last April at the Nobu Hotel, Volta kept going on for me, and the penny dropped. It worked, brilliant. And that's when I needed to have the systems in place. So the first thing, so how did I replace my income? So firstly, what I needed to do was, I realised that there was a list of non-earning tasks that I were completing. These included the terms of engagement, typing up my reports, and invoicing the clients. So essentially what I had to do was hire a VA. When she came on and when she was able to take these tasks away from me, that freed up some of my time. And the time that freed up allowed me to create the onboarding systems to then enable me to hire an additional surveyor. So this surveyor, when he came on, the revenue that he brought to the company, it not only covered my, it not only covered my income, but because predominantly I do RICS level 2 surveys and valuations, and he's a level 3 specialist, he also added an additional stream of income to the business. So when he came on, it freed up around 2 days, for me to really concentrate on the next stage of systemizing the business. So I went from juggling lots of different things to inevitably still juggling a few things. So at this point, I was still surveying. I was still essentially the sales manager. I was still the face of the business. So anybody that contacted the business, it was me that they were dealing with. So how did I get myself out of that? So I then had to focus fully on systemizing the business, and I was creating an onboarding sessions. So essentially, I created onboarding sessions for 2 additional staff members. The first staff member that I onboarded was an office manager, and the second one that comes on next month is another surveyor. So the office manager now, she's been on since January, and she essentially acts as the face of the company. So she deals with any inquiries, she deals with the marketing side of things, she deals with all the sales side of things. So anybody that contacts basically the company, she is fully in charge of that, which actually has freed up a huge amount of my time. Having the surveyor on board, essentially, so this new surveyor that's come on, he's come on and he's doing my RICS level 2 home buyers reports, and he's doing my valuations, which again has enabled me to take a full step away from the business. So I've gone from essentially juggling everything to now being able to fully concentrate on one thing. And that one thing is growing the business. And that's one of the benefits of systemizing the business. And the other thing that it provides me is continuous and predictable cash flow. And I can touch upon that later on as to why that's important for my investment journey. So I'm just going to show you the numeric profits of this as well. So you can see here from January to May 2023. So the turnover for the company here was £79,000, and that's when it was just solely myself. So January to May this year, you can see here an increase of £190,000. Which is a 140% increase, and a predicted turnover this year of 510,000. So when the new surveyor's on, like I say, that's me fully out of the business, and the business is there producing £510,000. Now, I was speaking obviously with yourself earlier regarding loving being in control and so on. So I recently hit a really good milestone for me, and a really nervous part of me was to say which staff members to get on. Is the company still going to run the same? No one can do it better than myself. That's what I thought. So you can see here recently, we've hit our 500 Google reviews as 5 stars, which is something that I really wanted to hit as this. And you can see here, so this Google review, I'm not going to read it out, but you can see here a 5-star review that happened recently. Jamie is the surveyor who did the job. Emma is our office manager, and essentially they left a really nice review, 5 stars, and I had absolutely nothing to do with this survey. So very nice to see that the high levels that I wanted to maintain are still there. So what's next for me? There's a couple of things that I want to do. So firstly, I am hoping to acquire additional businesses. So the first business that I want to acquire is surveying businesses. And those, the plan really is to buy the surveying companies or acquire them, create my systems and put them into the new companies, which then forms a group of surveying businesses. And the other thing that I want to do is help business owners that are looking to exit within a 2 to 3 year period. I can go on board with them, help systemize their business, and help get them the exit that they want to achieve. Multiple investments. So why and how? So my strategy for multiple investments is HMO conversions. The reason that I like this is, one, the amount of uplift in value that we're able to gain, but also due to the monthly cash flow. How I'm going to do it? Two things. First thing, Walter's touched upon the systems and the importance of them. We've got the systems in place now, essentially, that's going to help with the projects from there. And the other thing that I'm going to do, essentially, because I have this predictable cash flow that's coming and continuous, I'm going to use the profits from the company, essentially, to keep buying properties from there. So here's an example of one that we're recently purchasing. We're actually exchanging on this on a week tomorrow, actually. This is a three-bedroom property, and you can see here that we're then converting it into a 7-bedroom, 7-ensuite property with a small extension at the back, a loft conversion, and that's that then creates the additional bedrooms. A few photos from before and after. So it sounds strange when you said how have you got after photos when you haven't completed yet. So these are photos as it is at the moment. We've got the systems already in place. So the builders have already seen these. They've already quoted for these. So everybody is fully aware of the end product that we're trying to achieve. And you can see here one of the en-suites, and you can see one of the bedrooms there for us. So in terms of the numbers on this one, so you'll see here the purchase price of 263. It was actually on for offers over 280, but we managed to negotiate it down to 263,000. The refurbishment costs on this one are 210,000. The revaluation, which is the most important thing. I'm not saying that as a valuer, I'm saying it so the numbers all add up. That's very important to know. It's 610,000. The monthly profit on this is 1650. The yearly profit on this is 1980, and the increased value. So it's the revaluation minus the purchase price minus the refurbished cost is £137,000, which is a big increase from there. Biggest learnings. So one of my learnings, or one of the biggest ones, is about the wealth wheel. For me, it gives us so much clarity in where we need to be and what we need to work on. It can seem quite overwhelming when you first join or beforehand, and you think, I want to have multiple businesses, or I want to have multiple investments. How am I going to do it, and everything from there? But by taking the time to go through each stage, working your way through one by one, you'll quickly see the results, and it gave me a lot of clarity as I was moving forward. Spend time on the onboarding stage. I know that we touched upon this earlier on. Main reason being, obviously, is that you can really get your point across to your staff, the high levels that you expect, the response rate, and what you really, the company values and ethos from there. The other reason as well is, as we mentioned, you can recycle that as well. So you'll be able to as you grow, you have more surveyors come on, surveyors coming on, we can reuse the onboarding process, and it won't take me away from the business. So the company can still continue to grow. Second one is the importance of systemization. I shouldn't need to say that after Walter earlier on. If I didn't put any systems in place, if I was still, didn't have anything at all, I would still be where I was 12 months ago, and that's with no staff. I will be working 8 in the morning till 6 o'clock at night, and I'd still be typing up invoices. So very important to take a step back, to put the systems in place, and then that's where you get your benefits from there. And I mentioned about the continuous and predictable cash flow. So the important thing here for me is I can now gauge when I will be in a position next to be able to invest in properties. I'll be able to know at what stage I can contact, start looking, and make my investments from there, which is very, very important. What would it mean to complete my wealth wheel? Everything. Yeah, absolutely everything. I think I mentioned at the start that for me, what I thought was going to happen essentially is that I was going to invest in properties from in a 5 to 10 year period. I would maybe get to 60, 65, 70, look to retire and have maybe 5 properties from there. But by being able to have Volta and the systems in place, I've now gone from being able to buy one every, say, 5 to 10 years to be able to make multiple investments, say 3 to 4 properties per year, which is going to add around £2 million to the property portfolio. So yeah, it would mean absolutely everything. So yeah, here all day. Any questions, please let me know. Thank you. Thank you.
Done. So we have an award for Kieran. Here you go, stage 1 and stage 2. Amen. Thank you. We are very proud of you.
Thank you very
Let's
much.
take a picture.
So stage 1 is done. No more music right now. I'm just doing this sourcing, project management, and the flipping houses. Overall results. So the numbers. This year, expected revenue will be around 1 million. It's good. Thank you, guys. Thank you.